So here are 5 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Number 5, the NSA spying on the American people. In 2013, Edward Snowden came out and proved every tinfoil hat-wearing meth head right when he revealed that the NSA had mass collections of telephone and internet data on global communications. Number 4, MK Ultra. This was the CIA's real and declassified covert program at trying to develop mind control and create sleeper agents by experimenting on real people, usually without their consent. They basically experimented on things like drugs like LSD or hypnosis and its effects on the human mind to see if they could invent some sort of like truth serum. They also experimented with turning cats and dolphins into weapons. Number 3, the sabotage of the civil rights movement. So this has to do with the FBI's counterintelligence program, which was a series of covert and illegal actions taken by the FBI to disrupt the plight of black Americans to gain equal rights in the US. This included methods like spying on activists and then leaking negative personal information, whether it was true or not. Secret agents would create racial tensions within groups to break them down from the inside. Stopping organized peaceful protests by having secret agents within the groups start conflicts with the police, allowing police to retaliate, and just loads of false arrests to boot. Number 2, the Bologna massacre in Italy. So in 1980, there was a bombing at Bologna train station, which was originally thought and reported to have been carried out by leftist terrorists. This took the lives of 85 people, so it was very serious news, especially more serious when it was later attributed to far-right groups, and even more serious when it was later revealed that those far-right groups had very strong affiliations with the right-wing government at the time and was actually a ploy to discredit the political left. Number 1 is flat earth theory. Just kidding. Number 1 is Operation Northwood. This one's insane, but first, if you like fucked up shit like this, please drop me a follow. It really helps me out. This was a real proposed declassified plan by the US to stage a terrorist attack on American soil to justify intervention in Cuba. It was never done, but it was still revealed decades later in declassified documents. And if they're willing to do it then, does that mean that they've done it since?
We just keep hearing this conspiracy and we just think that these are just legends and folklores. But most of the time, it turns out that these are actually true.
This video has been going around on social media of a man who found a mosquito with the number 38 printed on its body. And then the next day he found another one with a different number printed on its body. And of course, there's been a conspiracy. Some people are saying that the man is just breeding mosquitoes to do scientific experiments on them, and therefore somehow putting numbers on their backs to keep track of them. Other people are saying there's a conspiracy. And here it is. For years, people have believed that birds, but mainly pigeons, are made by the government to spy on humans. And there's been many strange events over the years where thousands of birds have dropped dead out of the sky. And people believe this is due to the government having technical difficulties.
Obviously a ton of conspiracies about Michael Jackson. But in my opinion, one of the most interesting ones, if not a little ridiculous, is that this is what he actually looked like. Hear me out. On January 27, 1984, Michael Jackson was shooting a Pepsi commercial at LA's Shrine Auditorium. Everything was going great until the 6th take when the pyrotechnics malfunctioned, causing his head to be engulfed by a fireball on camera in front of 3,000 fans. Now, he likely couldn't feel it at first, but as he made his way down the stairs onto the stage, it didn't take long for the stagehands to realize he was on fire. Aaron Faye, his hair and makeup artist at the time, said, quote, "This was someone I knew and he was on fire. By the time I got to him, all of his hair was gone and there was smoke coming out of his head." According to the hospital, Michael suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns across his head and face. In 1992, the music video director that was filming his tour, Rudy Dolezal, was told that Jackson refused to appear on camera on days that he wasn't performing because on those days he didn't have a nose. Rudy went on to tell the New York Post that Jackson needed a prosthetic nose that took hours to put on using makeup and putty. 2002, rumors were running rampant in the tabloids that what was left of Jackson's nose cartilage had completely collapsed. So what's the conspiracy, man? I couldn't figure out what it was used for, but there is footage of Michael Jackson being made up to look like an old man using makeup and prosthetics, and it's very convincing. Then there's also this Akon interview where Akon describes going to the movies with Michael Jackson and being shocked when he got there and a complete stranger walked up to him and started talking in Michael's voice because it was Michael, but he was absolutely unrecognizable. The theory being that nobody really knew what Michael Jackson looked like anymore because the Michael Jackson that was famous was just a mask. Now, this is a real man named Dave, a victim of horrible burns when he was young, and Michael Jackson just kind of took an interest in him and took care of him. So at first, when I was reading about this, I was like, okay, case closed, that's a different guy. But the theory points out that Dave suddenly became a lot more public, and his appearance kind of changed after Michael Jackson's death, insinuating that Jackson didn't pass away in 2009, but instead resumed living under various assumed identities, easily fooling the world because nobody had really known what he looked like since the 80s.
Dave, seriously?
This is fuck. The name Pinocchio, it's actually two words put together. The first one is pin, right? Pinocchio. Pine actually refers to the pineal gland. Pineal gland is in charge of your consciousness. That's literally the gland in your brain. Occhio, you know what that stands for?
What?
In ancient Latin, occhio actually translates to eye. Pinocchio together, they're referring to the third eye. Now listen, Pinocchio was a puppet. He wanted to become a real boy. But how does he become a real boy? What happens when he lies?
He grows.
He becomes a puppet again.
He smokes, right?
He smokes, he drinks alcohol.
Yeah.
All of those things, they lead him down a road that leads him to becoming a puppet again. There's other themes in it too, like being influenced by bad people. In real life, if you keep doing the wrong things to yourself, following the wrong habits, you become a what? A puppet. Third eye, becoming a puppet. The elites work us like a puppet.
Have you guys ever seen the video of the guy who opened up portals using AC frequency videos? I'm about to show you guys real quick.
I didn't have to wipe off before. As soon as I put that speaker there it is.
Oh no, that's just a little thing. There's more. Look at that bullshit.
Where that is, I do.
And in that video, that is supposed to be Sedona, Arizona. So, but things start to get fucking weird for him after he discovers this. Comes to find out, he's missing. He's been missing for some years now, but let me show you how shit starts to get weird for him.
This creeps me out, man. I don't even like to be in this room anymore. When I sleep in here, you look at that. That shit is changing.
So comes to find out, since he was opening portals, his room was literally in another dimension. I gotta show you one more clip.
You see that car there? There's a white car parked right there, okay? I'm not crazy. There it is, white car, parking lot. Okay? There it is. I'm not fucking nuts. It should be parked right.
So you're telling me that the car went to a portal?
So with all the talk of Khloe Kardashian, her photo that she's been trying to wipe from the internet, I've been sitting here thinking about one of my favorite Kardashian conspiracy theories that I don't think gets talked about enough. I really don't think it does. And before I continue, this is just a conspiracy theory, just a theory. I think it's real, but this is just alleged. So here we have an old photo of the Kardashian family. There they all are, yep. And we do notice that Khloe looks a little bit different. And here's another one once they're all a little older. Yeah, Kim and Kourtney look a lot alike. Khloe looks a little different. But someone Khloe resembles very closely, O.J. Simpson's daughter, Sydney. Just for reference, this is a more current picture of the two of them, Sydney and Khloe. And we all know the Simpsons and the Kardashians were very close. Very close. Robert was even one of O.J.'s lawyers in his murder trial. So, Miss Kris Jenner, what happened?
Isn't the Chinese spy balloon story seem suspicious?
Chinese spy balloon.
With all the media attention focused on the balloon, it's possible that it's just a distraction from something much larger happening behind the scenes, hidden from public view. What do you think it can be?
Marilyn Monroe's death has been considered to be one of the most horrific Hollywood tragedies of all time. In the early hours of August 5th, 1962, Marilyn's housekeeper woke up with a horrible feeling. She went to Marilyn's room and noticed that the door was locked and the light was still on inside. So she decided to call her psychiatrist, Dr. Greenson. When he came over, he climbed up onto her window to be able to get a good look into her room and saw that she was lying face down in her bed with a telephone receiver in her hand. 36-year-old Marilyn was unconscious and Dr. Greenson broke into her room. Dr. Engelberg, who had prescribed pills for the actress, called the police at 4:20 a.m. and they arrived to the scene shortly after, declaring her dead. After taking an autopsy, it was stated that her life ended after taking too many barbiturates. After a life filled with trauma and a remaking of her identity for Hollywood and becoming an icon for so many people. So let's get into the backstory. Marilyn was born in Los Angeles in 1926 and originally known as Norma Jean Baker. Her mother was a film cutter and her father's identity was never really known. Marilyn's mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia after a mental breakdown, and she shuffled between foster homes in fear of being institutionalized like her mom. In 1942, she began modeling, and in 1946, she signed a contract with 20th Century Fox. She then became known as Marilyn Monroe and started off with just getting some small parts in the early 1950s, but later grew to more lead roles. As Marilyn's fame increased, her mental health decreased, and around this time developed dependence on alcohol and pills and was deemed difficult to work with. She was institutionalized briefly in 1961, and then publicly fired from her movie Something's Got to Give in 1962. So it seems logical to think that her mental health was a big part of her taking her own life. So, case closed, right? Well, what if I told you that the alternative theory was murder? And this theory involves secret affairs, the Kennedys, the FBI, and Frank Sinatra.
You know the theory about WandaVision?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Which one?
I know all of them.
You tell one. You tell. Actually, let me tell one.
Okay,
before
go. You go.
So you know when Wanda went into Agnes's house,
yeah,
and they were playing Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
One of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
So that represents the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
So the red character, I don't know his name, represents I think the Power Stone. The pink one represents the pink one represents a power.
There's like 4 of them,
There's
right?
4 of them, but they all represent
or 5.
Yeah,
because there's 6 infinities. Yeah.
But they all represent the stones, and they were playing a song. The Jumpy Jump song, which indicates how Wanda was traveling through time.
Oh yeah. And then one part of the theory you forgot was there were 5 of them. One was missing, which was the robot.
The robot,
which was Vision, because Vision was occupied.
Yeah.
We have a very special guest on the line, a Democrat, my mom. How have you enjoyed the show so far?
I have enjoyed the show. I want to say congratulations, Honey Bun. We are so proud of you and your accomplishment. Now let's aim to have you keep your job.
Okay. Do
not tumble into any conspiracy rabbit holes. We do not want to lose you, and we want no lawsuits.
Okay.
Use your voice responsibly to promote conversation that maintains a narrative thread. There really has been enough Biden bashing, and the laptop is old. Perhaps you could suggest that your people take less interest, for example, in other people's bodies, and talk about that.
Oh, wait. We're trying to keep other people's interest away from children's bodies. That was the point of that segment. Mom, I love you.
Wait.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Seek solutions versus fanning the flames. You could encourage that Bedminster friend of yours to return to his earlier career on television. Everyone in his audience could wear a red hat, and I'm sure the ratings would soar, although never as high, my darling, as yours on Jesse Waters Primetime. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Mom. I love you very much. And,
I love you. I'm thinking that a small dinner between 5 and 8 would be the way to go.
We gotta go, Mom. This is just like how things are at home.
Behold the wrath of the mama bear.